Welcome to the World Wide Web. If you don't know me, and I'm sure a lot of you that will be watching this do, my name is Dean Cvetkoski. I am a marketing veteran. I can tell you that much. I suppose the ideas that go through my head and how to structure things, the way to advertise, sometimes supersede my own expectations, that's for sure. One thing I wanted to talk about today was what a sales funnel is, a marketing funnel, a sales funnel. And now a lot of people think that, oh yeah, that's when you go and create something on ClickFunnels and then people sign up and then you take them through like an email marketing campaign. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're absolutely wrong. You are partly right, but there's a lot more to a funnel than what you might think right now. You see, a sales funnel is right from, I suppose, prospecting customers right through to having them as a long-term retained customer, if that makes sense. And the thing is that the biggest part of a funnel where you will see and lose a lot of customers is friction. People think you need, oh yeah, I need a USP, a unique selling point. I need to have a really good product on offer. But really what it's about is the major thing that contributes to that is convenience. You might have the world's greatest offer, right? The world's greatest offer. You might be offering someone $1 million. However, if your funnel is complicated and is hard to get through, there's bugs, there's errors, things aren't the way that they seem, they're too annoying, whatever that might be, that's what creates friction inside of those funnels. Now you see, what happens is that if you have a frictionless process, it's going to make your funnel seem great. I'll give you a really good example, right? Imagine you're going to a car dealership, right? You're going online, you're looking at different cars that are for sale. You go and leave your inquiry. It takes them 5 days to get back to you. In that 5 days, when they get back to you and they end up calling you and taking you through a process, they ask you to go and fill in some details in a form. Maybe it's handwritten, whatever that might be. And you're taking them through this process. Now, if at any point in time during that process, it's difficult to deal with your business, they think, and they're all going to automatically think psychologically and subconsciously that it's very hard to deal with you in business right from the very start. So even though you might think that this is normal and that's fine, or there's an extra step to the process that maybe could come later instead of before the sale, right? That extra step in the process makes it very hard for people to feel like it's going to be easy to work with you. I'll give you a really good example. It's a conversation that I had with a gentleman by the name of Stephen Franks the other day from a company called Higher Purpose Accounting. Now, when I was talking to him about marketing and his marketing strategy, the thing is that I never actually spoke about marketing. I never spoke about Facebook ads. I never talked about what kind of images need to be displayed. I never talked about what kind of captions needed to be displayed in those ads. We all know that you need a compelling image. We all know that you need a compelling call to action as well as a caption inside your ads. We're all very, very aware of these things. But one thing we're not aware of is after they get to the point, see, this is what a lot of marketers make the mistake, right? They think that their job is just to put people at that person or at that business's door. Now what happens is once they get to that door, if that marketing funnel and that sales funnel isn't revised for your customer, you're going to create friction, and that friction is going to carry on to you. And you might say, yeah, I've done my job. I brought the leads to your door. I brought the business to your door and they didn't check out. But what you need to do as a marketer to make sure that your clients see the success is to be able to go and look at exactly what they're doing and saying, well, you know what, I can identify friction in your funnel. They might not know what that means, but that funnel is that process of being able to deal with you as a customer, right? Until someone actually purchases their product or their service, they're not at the end of that funnel. And even then, once they do purchase, you want to retain them. So the funnel continues even after that. Now, here's a really good example. Going back to Stephen Franks, Higher Purpose Accounting. He's a bookkeeper, right? And right now, the sales process is kind of like, you know what, we'll get some leads in and then I'll call them and then maybe I'll go and meet with them and then maybe I'll do this and then maybe I'll do that. And you know what, if I'm lucky, I might get their business, right? You can see there's already some friction in there. I've got to go and call them and then I've got to go meet with them, and you're not already offering value. You're kind of just going, yeah, money, 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 money. Give me the money and then I'll work for you. This is why you should work for me. But you're not providing any value to that person first. Now that's what makes all the difference, right? Is giving that little bit of value to say, hey, you know what, if you want a good taste of what we have, then I'm willing to show you. Now what we discussed with Stephen, it was so great. I'm so happy and excited to tell you guys. What we discussed was his funnel. We started with a free initial audit. Now with the free initial audit, he was saying to me, you know what, it's going to take me an hour, 2 hours to go through everything, and etc. and so on. And I said, no, well, look, that's not what you want to do. You want to spend 5-10 minutes max putting together this audit. What you want to do is identify what a lot of people already have wrong with all of their books for all of their accounting and bookkeeping, and then put in all of the problems, a whole list in just a standard document, a list of all the implications, and then a solution. If he gets a customer where one of those things where there's a problem doesn't actually apply to them, all he has to do is delete it. He spends 5-10 minutes logging in and then checking out what's going on and then going and taking actions from there and sending a report. He can send reports maybe 5-10 minutes after receiving a new lead. Now, that's just one part of it, and there's still a lot more friction involved in that entire process as well. You can't just go and offer a free audit and then it's suddenly frictionless. So what we discussed then was we have in that process, we deliver that within 24 hours. So they get that within 24 hours. Now how they get to that point, right, to be able to save not only money and time for business, for his business, but also for the customer's business, what we've done is we've said, how about we reinvent the wheel? Let's get your customers, once they say, yes, I want my free initial audit, to go into a secure site, fill out the details about their business, and also give them instructions on how to add them as a user on their books. Xero, QuickBooks, MYOB, whatever it might be, we're getting the user to go and provide the information that he needs without having to chase it right from the very start of the funnel. That allows Stephen to go in, check the accounts, populate the necessary report, and send it off as soon as possible. They might even think it's automated how quickly that it might come through. So in that entire process in reinventing his funnel, you know, we can see we've taken the friction away. There's no more friction on Stephen's end or his potential customer's end. They're providing the information, and bang, you've already got a frictionless service. Now, when they get that report, what you're going to see is the problems, you're going to see the implications, and then you're going to see a solution. Now that solution is your unique offer. And what that unique offer might be, and in Stephen's case is, we charge for 5 hours of our time, $250 a month on a monthly retainer. However, we're going to give you 8 hours of our time for the first 3 months just to get your books in order. So you can pay us for the 3 months that we have on offer. We're going to get all of your books in order and put all the time and attention into it to make sure that everything that needs to be done gets done in your books. And what happens is at the end of the 3 months, you're kind of left with okay, so where to from here? Right? So it's like, well, you've just fixed all my books and you've set up all these automation rules and your job is lessened and all the rest of it. Now, where to from here as a business owner, right? As a person who wants more business from that particular prospect, how do I continue the relationship? And what we do is we add extra value. We add more value to the pile, right? So we've discussed with Stephen, for example, how about we offer not only every single financial year, we're going to provide you with the forecast to have a look at the previous years, as well as what, I suppose what the growth was last year and what the growth should be this year. But not only that, but also provide them something simple like a receipt scanner. Now, the receipt scanner will cost $150 because you imagine a business owner trying to deal with a bookkeeper with their receipts out, putting it down, open the lid, close the lid, scan it, open the lid, close the lid, put another 10 receipts. There's so much friction in that process, right? So this is that continued funnel. So what you're allowing to do is by including a receipt printer in a 12-month contract, you're allowing your prospects and your clients to be able to have an ease in that process. You're allowing them to easily access your business and easily process the things that they need to be able to, for you to do your work and for them to be able to do their part in all of that. So a good example of that is, with the receipt printer, is every single time it pulls it by itself and it goes through this scanner. The receipt scanner comes through, it scans everything it needs to, turns it into a PDF, and you keep scanning those receipts through that pile until all of them are added in there, which makes not only the bookkeeper's job a lot easier, but it also makes the business owner, your client, or Stephen's client in this case, having a much easier process. When we're talking about funnels, we're not just talking about some type of email campaign where, if people don't sign up straight away, you're going to take them through a process and you're going to take them through this to validate. And it is about that. But even then, a lot of these modern day funnels that we're seeing, you can very so much tell that they've been overthought. They haven't been thought out quite well. And what's the most important thing when building any funnel is the customer journey and the customer experience, not the journey on the emails that they receive on an ongoing basis. We're talking about the customer journey on how easy is it for me to work with you as a client, right? I want to make it so that way I don't have to work extra hard to be able to, hold your hand through the process to do what I'm paying you to do as a business, right? And that's the same thing. That's B2B, but that applies to B2C. We talked about, for example, the car dealership example. If I want to buy a car, but for me to buy a car, I've got to jump through all these hoops to get there, I don't want to work with you. I just want a process that identifies all of my needs, validates what I want, and then I can just go and grab that product and go and buy and make do with what I want to do with that product. This is what I wanted to talk about today, specifically about funnels. What is a funnel? It's not just about some funnel you take someone through from the point where you get them as a prospect to the point where they go and pay you some money. It's about the customer journey, the customer experience, and the funnel is never ending. Because you can have a customer for 1 year, but the moment your funnel goes sideways and there's friction in providing a service to that person, you can kiss that customer goodbye because you'll only have them for 1 year and you won't see them again.